welcome to the replay. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. I've been trying to scope for like 4 hours and my kids are finally in bed. They're probably still awake and listening, but they're in bed. So what you're seeing right now is actually a watercolor I did. It's called The Last Cookie, and it's the recipe I'm actually going to be sharing with you tonight, right now. I've got everything ready, and see, let me flip this around here. I'm going to run and go to the freezer and grab my wheat, because the first thing I have to do to make cookies is grind my wheat, which I do not do by hand. But, so I'm going to grab this out of the freezer. And I actually use a Vitamix. It's amazing, and it can do anything. So this is the dry container for the Vitamix, and I'm going to put 2 cups of wheat berries, which I got. These ones, I believe I got these at Whole Foods, which I'm going to see if I can let you see them. Here's what they look like. They're whole right here. And this will become our flour for the oatmeal cookies that I'm about to make, which are part 3 of this series that I just put up on Periscope. If I get done in time tonight, you'll have plenty of time to go back and watch all 3 scopes. You can see my trick to making steel cut oats in the quickest way possible. Okay, so this is going to be loud, so I'm not going to talk while I grind it, but it only takes a few minutes, and I'm going to let you watch because it's super cool. So hang on just a second. Alright, it's a little dark, but here's how I grind my wheat. Turn it on low, and then it's completely done, and now we have wheat where it was once wheat berries. Alright, so okay, first things first. We're going to take that wheat and pour it into my mixer. And I love these cookies because they're so quick to throw together. You don't have to like mix 2 things up and then mix them all up, and it's not a lot of work. Okay, so I've got 2 cups of whole wheat flour that I just ground, and then I'm going to take my measuring spoons here, and I do 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Oh, that's all backwards to me, but I guess you all see it the right way. So a teaspoon of that, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, which I keep in this little thing. I hate keeping it in the box. It makes me crazy. So I've got this little plastic thing where I keep my baking soda. So a 1/4 teaspoon of that. And then I've got a teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I throw that in my mixer. And then lastly, this is called Sucanat. It's short for sugar cane natural, I guess that's what it's short for. But it smells really good. It's like molasses, like a brown sugar smell, but it's less refined than brown sugar and white sugar for that matter. It's less refined than a lot of other sugars, and so it's a little bit healthier. It retains some of the minerals from the sugar cane. And I should put 1 cup of that in there with the other dry ingredients. Okay, and then let's see. I usually just put the mixer blade, which is missing currently. There it is. Alright. Put my mixer blade on there and just kind of let my dry ingredients toss together for a second, which I'll let you see. Just mixing up real quick. And then I'm going to throw in my wet ingredients, which are a stick of softened butter, toss right in there. And then 2 eggs, which you're always supposed to crack into another bowl. I just use my salt and cinnamon bowl here, although I don't always do that. Sometimes I just throw them in there. Alright, 2 eggs. And this recipe is really forgiving too, because you can use 2 eggs. Sometimes I use 1 egg. Sometimes I've used what's called a flax egg, just because I'm either out of eggs and that's why we're having oatmeal in the first place, or we're low on eggs and I was like, oh, I really need to save those 2 eggs or whatever for something else. So you can use a flax egg in these, and maybe a chia egg. I've never tried one like that. All right, last of the wet ingredients is my leftover oatmeal. This is about 2 cups. So it's not real pretty to look at, but it's yummy. All right, and I'm gonna let you see how this mixes together. My sealing. Okay, now you're looking at my mixer. There's all my butter and eggs, and I'll let those go to town. Oh, look. I'm just going to throw some in the mixer. Make cookies a lot. Okay, that's like basically, I don't know, I might need another second. While that's still mixing, I'm going to pull these out. I just measured these out earlier so I could do it quickly tonight, but there's about a cup of chocolate chips and a cup of walnuts. And I just dump those in and let them mix up too. And that's it for the cookies. So another thing about this watercolor you're looking at right here is actually I'm going to turn it into a free art print on my Steel Cut Oat recipe blog post. I'm pretty excited about it. So you'll be able to print it out and have it for yourself in your own kitchen. And if you can't see it right now, the ingredients are actually listed down here. So yeah, it's kind of neat, and I'm excited to offer that as on my up-and-coming Steel Cut Oat guide. My website, in case you didn't know, is hearthandcaravan.com. I like to joke that my husband is the hearth and I'm the caravan. Anyway, now I'm going to scoop these out, and we're going to get these in the oven at 375, and they should take about 12 to 15 minutes. The first batch usually takes about 15 minutes. So that's it for the cookies. And if you want this recipe written out, or if you want to get my free art print, check back on the blog. I believe on Friday I should have it up and ready for you. So anyway, you all have a good night.